Now, you've heard it said that you need to hold on to the vibration in order for you to manifest what you want. What if I told you that's not incorrect? It's incomplete. And yes, mostly incorrect. It's also the hard way. Hi, if you're new to me, my name is Raquel and I'm your GPS for success. I'm doing this series, this 21-day series around Jesus lovers and Jesus appreciators and manifestation. What's woo-woo? What's science? What's that? I'm debunking a lot of the things that are out there that we're hearing that are simply incorrect, on the right path, but actually just the hard way or 100% actually not factual. They've just made it very woo-woo, very mystical to make it seem like it's very magical. And it's just actually how you're wired to succeed. So why is that important? Because when you understand how you're wired to succeed, it really takes out all the mystical, elements out of it. And why is that important? Because then you're not having this anxious attachment style to your outcomes because you're basing it on facts, on the way that you have been created by the creator of all good and perfect things to actually succeed in your life. So around this concept of holding on to the vibration, right? Well, first of all, when you're trying to hold on to the vibration, then you are actually creating a space for you to not being able to do that. You'll start to have some self-criticism around, I can't do it. This isn't working for me. There's something wrong with me, having imposter syndrome around it. And the truth is that nothing has gone wrong. Nothing has gone wrong. Nothing has gone wrong. You are actually manifesting the outcomes based on this, not the vibration. It's not the vibration. It is the thought that you're having around it. The way we're wired to succeed is to meditate. And in Joshua 1:8, for those of us who are Jesus lovers and Jesus appreciators, it tells us how we find success. It says to meditate on the word day and night, and so we're going to find success. So who is making you successful? Is it God? No, it's based on your meditation. Your meditation on what? On the things that are good, pure, perfect, right? His word is full of grace and mercy and success and prosperity and health. So when you are meditating on that, you are going to find success. Now, the truth is the same both ways. So what happens when you don't meditate on something that's good, pure, perfect? If it has any virtue, if it has any praise, right? Now you're meditating on failure. Now you're meditating on, I talked about this yesterday in a Facebook post on the maybe right? You're drowning in your maybes. Like, maybe if I only do this different, maybe if I only try to hold my vibration, maybe if I only try to clear my chakras, maybe if I only get another energy clearing, maybe if I, go and get some more prayer, maybe if I go get some more deliverance, maybe I have to fast more, right? So now you're opening up the door to actually go into performance-based instead of your identity, instead of how you're actually wired to succeed. So now you're trying to perform in order for you to get, and that is exhausting. This is why so many women, especially, right, they really started to lean into the feminine energy movement because we're tired. We're tired of having to sustain everything, and actually we're not built for it. So we have all these other things that then we lean into to try to get us to manifest out of our vibration. But the truth is that this is how you're wired to succeed. You have a perception. Your perception is based on your belief systems. That is the filter. And then a circumstance comes up, and then you have a thought about it that goes through your filter. And when the thought comes up, then you, as a free moral agent, get to decide. That is your power. Your power is in your will. We're told also in the good book that you will prosper. You shall. Actually, one of the translations, it says shall. Shall is the strongest word we have in the English language. Right? You shall prosper and be in health as what? As your soul, your mind, your will, and your emotions prosper. So your will is you being able to decide. So a thought comes up, you activate your will. Do I want to entertain that or not? And if you start to entertain it, that's where this fallacy of the 17 seconds come in. Oh, you hold it for 17 seconds and then you start all these other thoughts That's actually how you're just wired to succeed. It has nothing to do with trying to hold on to a thought. Now, is that a good methodology? Yes. If it's a good thought, then you want to hold on to it, because then your brain, what it does is like, oh, is that what we're thinking about? I'm going to give you more of the same. That's the way it works. That's the way you're wired to succeed. There's no woo-woo around it. It's not mystical. It's not magical. That's just the way you're wired to succeed. So you have a thought that comes up and you get to choose as a free moral agent. And then as you are entertaining, think about entertaining that thought, right? Because that's what you're doing. Do I want this? Do I want to think about it or not? That is actually also meditation. So then you have a choice. Am I going to meditate on this? Meditation in Joshua 1:8 is the word haga. I may be saying it wrong, but it is part of the definition is, yes, meditation. You're thinking about, you're muttering to yourself, right? So you're thinking about it. You're muttering up here. You're muttering over here. You're imagining, you're roaring out. And that's like the dynamic definition of what meditation is. So as you are entertaining the thought, you are now actually meditating on it, because now you have to take a thought and you start to mutter either here or here, think about it. Then that thought cluster starts to release either chemical bliss or chemical chaos. That's going to then activate emotions in you, and emotions just like, right, they flare up and they come back down. We've all experienced that. And based on that fire, that fuel, then you're going to have an action or non-action. That's it. So the actions that you're taking are actually based on the thoughts that you're entertaining, which is good news, because that means that you can take your power back. That means you don't have to hold on to a vibration, because what you're actually holding on to is the thought. That's it. So we've been told a lot of things that are very woo-woo, very mystical, very supernatural. Woo! And actually, no, that's just the way you're created to succeed. That's it. That's it. And so it's like, yes, it does sound like, is that it really? Mm-hmm. Do those things have a vibration? Yes, because everything, right? What happens when something's not vibrating? Flatline, is dead. So does everything have a vibration? Yes. We're also told that death and life are in the power of our tongue, and we're going to eat the fruit of it, either death or life, right? So do words have a vibration? Yes. Do thoughts have a vibration? Yes, because thoughts are words. Words matter because they become matter. And so as you are trying to shift into a new reality, what you're not really shifting into the new vibration. As long as you believe, and this is a belief system, as long as you believe that you have to hold on to it, that vibration, in order for you to manifest, you're going to have to work hard on it. Now, some things, because you've already have success in it, it's a little easier and faster for you to manifest. But the way it's actually working is the way you're wired to succeed, which is as you are entertaining that thought and you're nurturing it with life, right? Then, because you're nurturing it with life, with joy, with peace, with excitement, with expectation, that's life. Those are the life-giving forces that you can lean into around that thought. You're going to see things manifest. It's really that simple. But then what, right? What happens is that then other things have been created saying, well, since you can't, the reason you're not manifesting is because you're holding on to the vibration, and then you don't know how to detach. Which is it? That's schizophrenic. I want you to hold on to the vibration, but I also want you to detach from the outcome. That's schizophrenic. You can't do that. You need to expect the outcome. Otherwise, why do you even bother? And that's why also, like, well, I'm trying to detach from it. You're not supposed to. You're not supposed to. The way detachment works is the faith that it's working. That's detachment. Is the faith that things are already in place. The divine timing is happening for it. That's detachment. But we're like, oh, just let it go. And if it comes, it comes. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Then why even bother? That's not even how we're created to function. Now, a lot of things that people have experiences and they're like, well, see, it worked because I detached it. I wasn't thinking about it anymore. But what they don't tell you in context is that they've already been working on their mindset, on their personal development, on themselves. So they've already gotten those muscles built, and they've already trained their spirit, their soul, and their body, that when they say something, it's done. And that's really where we're supposed to be going, right? That's the way we're created. We are created to be in integrity, which means for your brain, right? It means that when you say something, you mean it, you do it, period. And every time you are not in integrity with your brain then doesn't know what you're talking about. It's like, okay, well, I'm trying to create this new thought, hold on to the vibration, detach, doing all these things. Why isn't it working? Because you've trained your brain that not to listen to you, that your words are, you actually have like an anxious attachment with your brain. Your brain is like, well, I have an anxious attachment to what you're saying because sometimes you mean it and sometimes you don't. So which is it? If you've developed a habit having this anxious attachment to your subconscious, to your conscious, brain as well, then sometimes you mean the things, sometimes you don't. Then that's why sometimes you get the manifestation and sometimes you don't. So then how do you break that? You break that through the two main ways that your brain loves to shift things, because that's the way it came in. Between the ages of 0 and 7, we were in record mode. Our brain waves were in theta. So that's why we're recording. Think of it like self-hypnosis or hypnosis, right? It's just everything's being sucked in and being recorded. So, doing modalities that bring you into a place of rest, which is theta. You get into rest and then you're open to suggestions. That's what hypnosis is. You actually go into hypnosis all the time. Every time you go, when you Netflix and chill, maybe you're not chilling, you know what that means, because we're all grown here. But let's say you're going into your Netflix and you're binge watching. Now you've gone into relaxation. And now because you're relaxed, you're open to suggestions. You're actually hypnotizing yourself. That's all hypnosis is. Nobody can make you do something that, we have these sideshows and the, Vegas things and, they're going to make me cluck like a chicken. I can't be hypnotized. Yes, you can. Yes, you can, because you're always going into hypnosis or some kind of meditation, because that's the way you're wired to succeed. That's the way you're wired, is to do that. And that's the way you came into this world, is coming into this space where you are receiving the suggestions and you're still doing it. When you go on your social feeds, you lose track of time. Now you're relaxed. All those things are coming in and they're giving you suggestions. And you get to decide consciously, do I want this? When you become, like, people always think, oh, they're so asleep. And I've noticed people who talk about others who are asleep, they're actually asleep in many areas themselves. So be mindful of what you're poo-pooing. But that's the way we're created, right? When we come into a rest, we are created to work from rest, to produce from rest. And this is what, God's grace does, is it allows us to come into his rest, and then we get the divine downloads, those divine ideas, and then we go and we do. But you're doing it anyway. Every time you go into rest, when you're in your social feed, when you're, binge watching on Netflix or Showtime or whatever it is that you're doing, now you have entered into a rest, and now you are open to suggestions. And maybe what you're watching through your eye gate, through your ear gate, right? It's feeding you their vision. And if you think that you are not being impacted or influenced by what you're watching, that's just not accurate. That's not true. You are not the exception to the rule. You're not the exception to how we are wired to succeed. We are wired to succeed through our meditation, through our imagination, which is our commercial for the future. And so when you are resting in your rest, that's when you have to be more mindful. What's the music, the lyrics that they're suggesting to you? Do you actually want to live that? There's a lot of love songs that we call them love songs, but they're actually breakup songs. They're actually desperation songs. They're actually victim mentality songs. And we're like singing along and babbling to them. And do you really think that that's not going to have some kind of fruit? It will. It might take 20 years to mature, but it will mature if you continue to nurture it. So being mindful of that, right? What does this have to do with vibration? Because you are opening yourself up to other people's vision, Do you want that to be your reality? You don't have to hold on to the vibration. You just have to hold on to the thought. So then how do you do that? Right? The first thing I said, right? When you're in a relaxed state, the second thing is repetition. Your brain loves repetition, which is why it's important for you to decide, right? You use your soul, you decide this is a thought I want to embody, because really you're only one thought away from your desire. That's it. So then you take a thought that you want to embody because you want to live that reality. And then you start to do modalities like EFTs, which is tapping, guided meditation, hypnosis, right? I talked about this the other day of immersing yourself in the environment that you want to emulate, because you merge with the environment. So if you are in rest mode and you are watching your social feed, you are merging with what's coming in through your eye gate and your ear gate. When you are in your rest and you are binge watching, you have now come into rest and now you're open to the suggestions. You are merging with what you are watching and hearing. So what is it that you are doing repeatedly? There is I can't remember who said it now, but it was this phrase that's coming to mind around about that. Oh, now I lost it. I don't edit these unless there's a glitch with the internet. I don't edit it. Oh, well, if it's important, I'll come back to me. But right, you are merging with your environment. So what are you repeating? Oh, that's what it was. It was something around like, maybe it was John Maxwell, that he'll be able to tell where you're going and what your future is going to hold to you based on what your daily routine is. This is why routines are so important. So do you know how you're wired? I have resources that I have for the society when you rewrite your story. One of them is Task Animal, and it helps you to understand how you're wired to succeed and your personality gift cluster, and how to use how you're designed in order for you to create simple habits and routines, and get things done faster. Because I like faster. Who does, right? I like faster. I want faster results so I can go do the more fun things. I want to go through my tasks quickly so I can go do the other things that I really want to do. So we have Task Animal, right? Again, understanding how you're wired, even in your, not only as a human, but your personality gift cluster, and then leveraging that to create the routines, because that's the repetition. You're going to find you are already doing it. You just have to choose to do it by design. And so as you're choosing to doing it by design, saying what kind of habit then now is going to support this thought, this decision that I made, that this is now my reality. And it's not a matter of if, it's when it manifests into this 3D realm. If you can imagine it, you can have it. That's the way you're wired to succeed. And so part of the rewriting your story and being part of the society, which is my monthly membership, is that you get 24/7 coaching with me through text. You get to hang out with me and the group twice a month. But then I noticed, right, if I have a whole bunch of resources, guided meditations, journaling, all those other things to help you so you can do it yourself. But then I noticed, okay, now we need to be together. There's something about, right, immersing yourself in the right environment. But then in the in-between, what do? You need the support, the accountability. I even have accountability chatbots, 2 of them there, that help you. One to get clients, and the other one is to have your hot body. Why? Because you need something. If you haven't done something before, sometimes getting into the habit of something, the first 3 or 4 days, it really sucks, right? Because you're doing something new and your brain doesn't want to do it and your body doesn't want to do it. And maybe even your soul's like, is this even worth it? So having this support system of not only the resources, the insights, the lifetime, the fellowship, and then having 24/7 coaching, if that's what you desire, then you get what you need in order for you to embody that new thought. Can you do this yourself? Yes, you can absolutely do it yourself. Go ahead and binge watch. If you're going to binge watch, then you might as well binge watch this podcast. I have over 100 videos. And get your mind right, because everything you want is literally one thought away. And as you are embodying that new thought, you will see evidence of it. one of the first things you're going to recognize is that you're going to see yourself differently and feel about yourself differently. Why is that important? Because you're never going to go any farther than how you see and feel about yourself. So once that starts to shift in you, everything, your environment will bow its knee, because it's bowing its knee to your will. What are you allowing? What are your boundaries? What are your expectations? That's how you take your power back. This is how you take ownership back. What is radical responsibility? The ability to respond. So that is yours to do when a thought comes up. Then remembering, do I want this or not? And if you want it, keep thinking along those lines. And if you don't want it, flick it off. Remember, what is his name? Matambo? The tall basketball player. And then he had that commercial, no, no, no. And you can just smack that thought down. Yes, you can. And if you've already developed a habit where you go into worry, fear, anxiety, and doubt, those are just systems. You're actually not wired for that. You are wired to succeed. You're wired for love. That's actually your default, and it's stronger. You just have habits that you have developed that you'll have to undo. And the time is going to pass anyway, beloved. It's going to pass anyway. So you might as well work on yourself. How long do you have to do this? I call it the 1% solution. You are investing in yourself less than 1% of your day purposely to meditate on the thought that you want to make your reality. Is it that simple? Yes. How long is it going to take? If you do 1%, it can happen faster, but it's to create a lifestyle change is between 60 and over 90 days. But that's why I have accountability chatbots. That's why you get to meet with me. That's why you get to meet with us, so that we can help keep you. I can help keep you on track. And then you stay encouraged by being around people who are just like you. And so if you want that, you just go there or you go down here. It's manifestwithraquel.com to find out. It only starts at only $97 a month. And you get all of it. Nothing's held back at the $97. You just have options to pay either quarterly or yearly. And I think I'm going to do another special for the yearly when you come in yearly for you. That'll be for a limited amount of people. But that's really it. You don't have to hold on to the vibration. It's the thought that is actually creating your outcomes. And you are only one embodied thought away from what you say that you want. Until next time, which will be very, very soon, may God's richest and best be yours. Bye now.